Just picking up the pieces from the puzzle of life on my journey. You don't need to run away. Stay right next to me. Girl, you're my angel. You're my darling angel.
What's up, viewers and subscribers? Welcome back to my channel. This is Fee. It's been a little while since we dropped a vlog on the channel, but guess what? We're back and we're gonna kick it off with a few topics in this one. We're gonna talk about dancehall artist Masicka and why I think, I may have to stress that it's my opinion based on certain observation. I feel like him sign a deal with world-renowned record label Def Jam Records, and me go show you why I think that, so you can drop in the thoughts in the comment section and tell me if you agree. We're also gonna talk about Shaggy. Now, and if you've been paying attention in the YouTube space mostly, there's this argument ever since Popcaan. We know Popcaan dropped him album recently and the numbers came out. So after that, we see this argument come out where people trying to discredit Shaggy and say him a diamond selling artist, and we're gonna go into that topic. I'm gonna present some evidence, and we're gonna talk about that in the comment section. And we're also gonna talk while we're on the topic about Popcaan. As me say, Popcaan Great Is The album dropped last week, or the week before, and the numbers just came out this week, and it's just been a long conversation about the numbers. How is it that him never do so well in the first week? What contributed to it, and all kind of something. So we're gonna talk about that, but first me could talk about Shaggy. Now, Shaggy, we know, is one of the most well-known and also best-selling artists to ever come out of Jamaica, right? And you would think that people would give him a certain level of respect and admiration, and just overall support, and not trying to tear down, putting Jamaica on the map, right? Now, I'm not saying Shaggy is the only artist for come out of Jamaica for have Jamaica in a certain conversation, right? We're not saying that, but it make you wonder where this conversation out of nowhere, where this conversation has start from. All right, so Shaggy, we see certain people on the internet on this, what it seem like to me, a campaign for say, oh, Shaggy never sell diamond, all kind of disrespectful things they must say about the man, right? They must say, oh, well, he's not certified diamond through IRAA, which, is a certification, company in the United States. It tracks sales and certify whether it's gold, platinum, diamond, whether it's an album or a single. So that is the United States standard. And say, even though the US is not the only market, it is the biggest, it's one of the biggest, if not the biggest market for music in the world. So, whatever happens in the United States, it holds a lot of weight. So based on my research, these people, they're only doing it to based on a technicality. I'm gonna show you why I say that. So Shaggy released his album Hot Shot in August 2000, but it wasn't until 2001 where we really see the potential of this project. 2001, Shaggy had one of the best-selling albums all around the world, and especially in the United States. To today's date, he's certified 6 times platinum in the United States and 7 times platinum in Canada alone. But he has sold millions of records around the world. At this point, over 13 million. So if we're thinking about, because people love to say, oh, well, him not certified diamond in the US. So if we're talking about through the eyes of the US market, him selling 13 million albums worldwide, when we think about diamond, we're automatically thinking about 10 million plus. Now, we know that if you go on IRAA, he certified 6 times platinum for the album. But does that take away from the fact that he has sold that he has sold over 10 million albums worldwide since the release? Should we discredit this man who some artists can only dream of even doing, these numbers? Look at this on the screen. These are the different countries and the amounts that he has sold throughout the year, and you can see the different certifications. Whether it's gold, platinum, multi-platinum, you can see the numbers, see the various countries. So you can see it's not just the United States. This diamond selling status that we always hear surrounding Shaggy's name, it's not for a single. People say, oh, well, we not talk about, we not seen a single where him sell diamond. Nobody ever said it was a single. It was for his album. Yes, it's 6 times platinum in the US and it's not certified diamond. And IRAA is based in the United States, so there's no diamond certification worldwide as far as my research. But there should not be no campaign for discredit this man and say, oh, well, him no sell diamond just because it not certified diamond. The fact that this man was able to accomplish something so big and sell the amount of album and continues to sell all these albums this many years later, 13 million albums and going. Instead of to celebrate that and support it, just because him have a beef. Well, no, sorry. Shaggy don't have a beef because when I say Shaggy say nothing. Just because Popcaan, and the reason why I say Popcaan in this is because the people that are campaigning so hard are people that them support Popcaan on a certain level. So, we see where Popcaan a little while back him come out and him this Shaggy, but when I say Shaggy respond or pay him no mind. I know that Popcaan numbers come out and them look shaky. Instead of, just having the conversation about that, them want to deflect and try to steer the conversation and turn it away from that. Instead of talking about what the real issues are, them want to, okay, what we can use. So them draw for Shaggy and try to discredit him and say, oh, well, we not seen a certified diamond RIAA. But that's just in the US. Him no sell in the US alone. So if we now discredit the man off of a technicality, that is stupid to me. I don't need to stop it. But, people are going to do what they want to do. So, but just didn't want to talk about Shaggy. I think him deserve the respect for the work we him put in and still continue to do today. On the topic of Popcaan. So, Popcaan released his album on January 27th, Great Is E. Right, this is another project that was released under Drake's OVO label and OVO sound, and there were 4 collabs. So we have Drake, Tony and Sing, Burna Boy, and Chronic Law, and we can see, the numbers came out this week, and the projections before the album came out, people said 50K, 35K in the US alone, 15, 25K, all kind of something. But then when the numbers come out, him not sell more than 300 pure sales, and he only sold 3,200 within the first week. But obviously that never looked good. So they reporting websites, media houses, Dancehall Mag, and World Music News. World Music News was actually where me see it first, because me see everybody a beat Dancehall Mag, but they put out the information first. And both of them said that the total sales to date at the time of the release of the article, which was Monday, he had sold 13,900 for the up until the tracking week, which ended last Friday. But then we see where somebody looked like somebody requested through being a subscriber on Chart Data. Them requested the current numbers, and so Chart Data put up that it's 15K at the time of when they put out the numbers. So that would mean that Popcaan sold about 1100 at the time this was released yesterday, so about 1100 for this past week, which make it about 15K total, right? But does that take away from the fact that Popcaan, who we have it for say is one of the, if not the leading dancehall artists out of Jamaica right now, well known internationally, you know, and he's signed to a well known label artist. And he had major collabs. He had another Drake collab. He had Burna Boy and Tony Singh, who's very well known in her right. Chronic Law as well. You know, so we did expect that this album was gonna do some major numbers, but it didn't. You know, and people are speculating and say, but why? I see people are say, oh, because him not have no US visa. But when we check it out, him never have no US visa last time with Fixtape when him do almost 9K. You know, then people are say, oh well, him shouldn't release the Drake and the Burna Boy until the release week. But then you make another question come in for say, well, is it a case where you need Drake, you need these collabs for sell the album? Is it, what is the issue? You know? But that's not what them really want to talk about. Them don't want to talk about that. So, as I said, that's why them kind of have to draw for this whole Shaggy thing for kind of derail the whole Popcaan numbers, because there's no legitimate explanation for say why with a Drake and Burna Boy and Tony Singh him sell only 3,200, which is close to the numbers of dancehall artists like who are independent, such as an Alkaline or a Masicka. Why are the numbers so low? You know, so we just have to ask ourselves that question and see what is the issue. You know, what's gonna happen for the next album when put out? Is it a case where Drake is gonna be on there, is not gonna be on there again? You know, it make you even ask, can Popcaan at this point put out an album without having Drake on it and see how it compares, you know? So time will tell. You know, I'm still out there. Am I doing thing? It's a good body of work. I'm not gonna say it's my favorite because I've listened to Popcaan albums previously, and to me much better in terms of the music and everything like that. But you know, that's just my opinion. But let me know what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section in regards to Popcaan, the album, the numbers, what you think happened in this case with the album sales and everything. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. So finally, we're gonna talk about dancehall artist Masicka. A couple of days ago, I see him post a preview to a new collab with dancehall artist Jashi. It's actually a video that's supposed to come out later today at the time of this video. Now, when I wake up, I see the audio was released. So when I go up on YouTube, I see it, right? So the song is called Pieces. So it's Masicka featuring Jashi. So the type of person I am is, you know, when me and look on, you know, new releases and stuff like that, I like to see who distribute the music and who the producer is and stuff like that. So this time was no different. So, you know, on the YouTube section description, I see something interesting. I see Def Jam Recording, which is a division of Universal Music Group, was listed. That's who the song was licensed to, who was distributing it. That's the label behind this song. I said, but I never know say Masicka sign, because it's always for the longest now, for a while it's been 1 RPM. You know, we see him releasing under film own label One Side Records. So I say, alright, I'm gonna check other platforms. So I go over Apple Music and I see Def Jam Recordings, a division of UMG Recordings. I say, alright, check one more. I go over Amazon Music and see the same thing. So me start wonder now. And I say, when did Masicka sign a deal? Because this can't just be random. Them not gonna just take up him song and start distribute it. There has to be some type of agreement, whether it's for distribution, whether it's for recording and distribution, or whatever. You know, there has to be some type of agreement with them for them to do it. For those who don't know, Def Jam Recordings is a well-known label, been around for a long time, and has signed notable artists. You know, like you had Jay-Z, Rihanna, Justin Bieber, Lady Gaga, Lil Durk. You know, a lot of these people on the screen, they were signed to Def Jam at one point, or some of them are currently still signed to Def Jam. So it's not a little label, well known, and they distribute through Universal Music Group. Like, I think they're under the Universal Music Group label. They're a part of that whole family. After all of that, I just start wonder, where did this connection, how did this partnership start? So I start for do some little research, but then remember, say yesterday news came out that DJ Khaled, he now has an exclusive partnership with Def Jam Recordings, and he is now the global creative director for Universal Music Group. So back in the day, he was A&R for Def Jam. So, you know, he's basically going back to them, and you know, they had a big celebration and everything. The reason why I bring up DJ Khaled is because you know, he has this connection with Jamaican dancehall, reggae culture and stuff for a long time now. You know, we know say him rate the music and the culture and stuff like that. So I was wondering if that was the case. So I decided to check if Masicka was following DJ Khaled or Def Jam, and if you know, vice versa, if Khaled was following Masicka. So I'm gonna look. It was true for both. Masicka following Khaled and Khaled following Masicka. Now, after all of that, I decided to go over the Def Jam IG page, and I see them put up some stories. So I scroll through all the way to the end, and the last story post what them put up was you know, the cover art for Pieces, the new song with Joshi for Masicka, and then put the link. And I think them did tag Masicka, but I didn't realize at the time. And I say, oh, I was right. So then when I do now, I go up and I come out of that, and then my sister Masicka put up a story, and he had reposted what Def Jam had on their story. So that was the conclusion for said there is definitely a partnership with Def Jam. It may not be it's some type of agreement. We don't know the scope of it, the full extent of this agreement, but we can definitely see something is in place. And maybe, because a while back him they said there's some big news him have, but him said we're gonna hear about it, but then we never did. So I wonder if this is it, and he was working out the details of this agreement. So I'm sure we will find out whether it's recording and distribution or just distribution. But either way, you know, it would be a great look for him. As I say, him did have a successful album, very well received. So I'm not surprised, you know, him would get a partnership like that. The only thing would I wish, you know, as for any artist signing, whether Jamaican or not, but especially with Jamaican artists, is just to be careful when it comes to, you know, signing to labels and stuff. Make sure you have a voice, you have you get your credits, your respect, and of course you get your money. You know what I mean? So that's all I can say. It either way, it would be a good look, as long as it's beneficial and it won't hinder the artist. Me say it's a good look, you know. But time will tell. That's just my speculation. Let me know what you think in the comment section about this and all of the topics that were covered. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Again, drop your thoughts in the comment section, and I will catch you on the next one. Big up on yourself.